All right, we're in the month of February, and guess what? No one wants to cook. You know why? The Academy Awards. We're gonna sit around, we're gonna watch stuff. I'm gonna find a way that you can do that. No one's gonna get stuck in the kitchen. You gotta do a little bit of prep, but we're gonna do a little bit ahead of time, and you're gonna be able to sit and enjoy with your family and friends and pick and guess and see who's gonna win. Start off with, we've got some potato skins. Look at these guys. What I've done is poach these potatoes, and you get these little beautiful guys, or you can get the red potatoes. They work fine too. Usually I'll poach them in just water with a little bit of salt and some fresh rosemary. I've got some caramelized onions. That's one onion that I've cooked in some grapeseed oil and just cooked and cooked and cooked. Add a little bit of water from time to time when it starts getting brown on the bottom of the pan, and just cook the heck out of it. And then I've chopped that up. We've got some fresh rosemary, applewood smoked bacon going on here that we've got nice and crispy. I'm gonna leave a little bit of that fat in there because you know what? That fat's good. I'm gonna add my caramelized onions to that. Let them do their thing. And while that's cooking just for a little bit, I'm going to show you how to do these potatoes. What you're going to do is cut them in half, up, then you're going to cut the butt end of it there just a little bit, and all you're really doing with that is just so he'll sit up straight like that. Up, cut the end off like that, then you can take your little melon baller, and you're going to get in and just take out that meat, and dig a little hole like that. So you can see, easy enough. That's how those guys are done. And then you can get these guys done ahead of time like that. We're going to take a little bit of this fresh rosemary from the garden. Chop that up. By the way, those little potatoes on the inside also are really good in omelets and things the next day. Rough chop. This is going to go in. You're going to let all that heat give off. It's too bad you can't smell that because it's smelling really good. And you can do this ahead of time, but if I tell you, it doesn't get any better than when that bacon's just freshly cooked like that. Turn that off. Then what we're going to do is grab a smaller spoon and stuff these little guys. We're going to put that inside like that. We're going to pat it down just a little bit. Up. And you can do this ahead of time, and then we're going to pop these guys in the oven for just a little bit at about 350, just to let some of that wonderful fat get in there and seep into the inside of the potato. We're going to a little bit of cracked pepper on top. And then at the end, once this comes out of the oven, we're just going to put a little tiny guy of rosemary there on top. Just something fun. Not too much because rosemary is pretty strong, but give it a nice little fun kick. All right, there you go. That's number one. We got two more to go. Hang out. All right, one down, and the Academy Awards haven't even started yet, so we're okay here. Now we've got, next one up, we're gonna do a little stuffed tomato. That's kind of fun. So little Roma tomatoes. If you want to do them a little tiny, you can buy the little baby round pear tomatoes if you want to. All works really well. Some fresh thyme. We've got a shallot that I've chopped up. We've got some fresh fennel, and of course the fennel tops. It's always kind of fun too as garnish. And then fresh goat cheese. That's just a nice clean goat cheese, no herbs or anything added to it. All right, let's put our goat cheese in it. And if you can keep this at room temp, it'll be even better. It gets nice and creamy and a little bit easier to mix up. I want a good amount of shallots. We're going to add this whole, that's one large shallot, because you want that bite. I like that bite in there. We're going to add a little bit of salt. You want to be careful because goat cheese is almost always, as a matter of fact, I know they have salt in them, so you want to be careful. Fresh thyme. I'm not even going to chop up that thyme because you're going to get it. You're going to get a little bite as you chomp down on these guys. And then we're going to mix that up. And you can even stuff these guys ahead of time, once again, so you're not spending all your time in the kitchen missing out on the incredible Academy Awards. So you know what I'm going to do is just use these tips and just going to cut. So show you how to use the ends of these guys. Then we're going to take as a small one. We're going to just kind of cut around the inside here. As you can see, we didn't cut too far down, so it'll sit. Kind of fun, just a little cup is all we're making, a little hors d'oeuvre cup. And what we're going to do, get some of our goat cheese mix, and that's going to go in on top. Just sit on top like that. Then we're going to take our fennel. And this will usually stick in up. And you can put as many of these in, or just want to kind of goof around and do something fun. And then you've got this little sprout. You don't want to get too crazy, but a nice little garnish on top's fun and easy, and better than buying dill because it has all those wonderful fun flavors of dill, but it's just the top of your fennel. And there you go, there's number 2, a little tomato stuffed with a goat cheese, kind of a mousse, actually a little goat cheese mousse. So a little fennel on top, little fennel tops, and easy enough. 2 down, 1 to go. Next up, we've got a little beef tenderloin. It's going to go on a little crouton. Once again, we can do the little mix ahead of time, and we're going to sear the beef even ahead of time, chill it down, almost like a little roast beef sliced real thin on top of the crouton. Easy, done. Let's go. Here's the last one. So I've got beef tenderloin, I've got sour cream here, I've got some green peppercorns, a little bit harsh, but we're not going to use a lot. Fresh shallot chopped up, some green onion, just a little green onion tops, some lemon juice, and some French Dijon mustard. Not French's, but French Dijon mustard, because we want that harsh stuff. A little bit of olive oil. We're going to put this in the pan and sear off our beef tenderloin. Starting off, we're going to fresh ground pepper, salt, up. All right, hot pan, smoking point, you can see that. You get him in there, we're going to leave him just to do his thing. We're going to let him sear a long time in there. Next, we're going to make our little sauce is really what it is. We're going to add some salt and pepper. Good amount, just sour cream. There's no seasoning inside there. A little bit of salt. We're going to be careful because even mustard's going to make it seem like it's a little more salty. Get a little bit more. Good amount of mustard because I like mustard. A little bit of our lemon juice up. Not much, just enough to give it a kick. We're going to add our entire shallot because I love shallots. I love that bite. Nowhere near as sweet as an onion. You can use an onion if you can't find the shallots. But one thing about the mustard is once you take mustard out and you open it and use it, it will lose its strength and all that harsh flavor that you've got in there. Green peppercorns, we're going to mash up a couple of these guys. These guys are really harsh. Regular, you don't want to bite down on this guy by itself. So what we're going to do is just, then you can chop them up. What do we got? A teaspoon of green peppercorn. Mix that guy up. Let that get in there and do its thing. Up, just like that. Another thing I forgot to tell you about was I had some croutons, some little French baguettes. You can see, all I've done is drizzle these guys with a little olive oil, bake them at 325 until they look like that. Make some real nice slices of him. And just as thin as can be. Put these guys on. Push them up just so they can fit right on top, and you can twirl them around or move them however you want. You can lay them out flat, do whatever you feel like doing. You can lay them like on the side like that. Doesn't matter because we're going to put just a little bit of this crazy fun sauce on top. Make sure we got it all mixed up right, and not a lot. This stuff's, they said, there's a lot of harsh stuff. There's mustard and there's green peppercorns and there's all this incredibly fun, flavorful stuff in there. Then we're going to garnish it with a little bit of just green onion that all we've done is cut on a bias. That'll also bring a little harsh bite to it. There you go. There's our third hors d'oeuvre, little beef tenderloin seared off on a nice little crouton, thin baguette crouton, not real thick, crisp and crunchy. And then a little of our sour cream, Dijon mustard, green peppercorn, lemon juice, and fun stuff in there. That's our third one. Easy enough. Now all we need is a little bit of wine. And there you go. My choice, Cabernet Sauvignon. Yellowtail's Reserve has actually spent 12 months in new oak barrels, and you will find all this incredible blackberry, cherry, almost a blueberry, even little hints of mint at the end. Everything will go well with this, and Yellowtail's got enough other fun reserves too that if any of their other reds, even a Merlot, if you want to do the Shiraz, is all fun stuff too. Cab for this was my pick, and an amazing trip. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. You've got smoked bacon, caramelized onions, you've got filet, you've got green peppercorn, creme fraiche, tomatoes with goat cheese. If you can't find something to eat in there, then you shouldn't be watching the Academy Awards. And the Academy Award goes to Cabernet Sauvignon Reserve Yellowtail. Bon appetit.